Hello and welcome. This is a reading for your sun sign in Cancer. You may also be feeling it if your moon or your rising is in Cancer for the month of July 2026. First of all, early in the month, you have Sun, Venus, and Mercury. All the personal planets are crowding into your first house because they are in Cancer. Venus entered Cancer late June, early July. Mercury enters Cancer July 2nd, and the Sun arrives on July 16th. So this is all emphasizing your first house, with it, which is new beginnings, as well as your own personal identity. And these are all, warm and friendly planets. Sun is illuminating, Venus is love, beauty, Mercury is communication. So really great start to the month. Mercury is direct all month in your sign, though it begins to drastically slow down by the final week of July in preparation for its retrograde and station in early August. The outer planets, Neptune and Saturn, are both in Pisces. They will turn retrograde in your ninth house, Neptune on July 2nd and Saturn on July 26th. This dials back the external expansion to focus on deep internal spiritual restructuring. North Node, and this is huge. I've been talking about this since January. The North Node is going to ingress into the sign of Aquarius, which for you is your eighth house. This is so significant because, Pluto, which is the huge mover and shaker, has been in your eighth house for probably the last year and a half. Anytime Pluto changes signs, that's huge. And if you're late to the changes, North Node is really going to wake you up to what your true path is right now with Pluto in your eighth house. They won't actually really conjoin until probably Thanksgiving of 2027. So you have time to prepare, but it's a really good time to look at what your path in life is right now. What are you really called to do? And it's actually going to revolve around big money. Eighth house is institutions. You might get a government job. You might or receive inheritances, or you might receive income somehow from a big corporation or eighth house government. Maybe if you're retired, you might be getting your Social Security. But eighth house does rule money, big money, and inheritances. South Node correspondingly will enter Leo, which is your second house. So there will be some things that you're letting go of in terms of personal values, and also be aware of your personal money because that could be leaking out of the South Node. So try to shore up anything, so it's a good time to go through your auto pays. Where is money leaking out of that doesn't need to be? So for the next 18 months, your evolutionary focus will shift entirely toward the mastery of shared resources, which is the eighth house, investments, debts, and other deep psychological transformations, because of course Pluto does rule death and rebirth. Eighth house is very big on death and rebirth. And you'll be moving away from just your personal, purely, what is your own self-interest and values. So look at the greater aspect for the team, or the bigger aspect. Again, with Sun, Venus, and Mercury activating your first house, you'll have sort of that cosmic spotlight on you. You'll certainly be very magnetic, very appealing. Great time to pick out some new clothes. But then, of course, towards the end of the month, Mercury will slow down. So just expect some time for some introspection towards the end of the month, third week and on of July. You do have a real second and eighth house axis going on between your personal finances versus the larger aspect of the greater good. The lesson with the South Node moving into your second house, and this is very significant, is relying solely on your own immediate or ego-driven material wealth will feel less fulfilling than shared resources. Meanwhile, the North Node in eighth house beckons you to learn the art of collaborative finances, investments, handling inheritances, or navigating that deep energetic merger with others. Ninth house, Saturn and Neptune will be retrograde in Pisces, will trigger a period of profound and philosophical review. If you've been chasing a rigid ideologically or unrealistic escape hatch through travel or higher education, the cosmos will force a reality check. You are being asked to build structured, authentic, and spiritual boundaries rather than just chase illusions. July 4th, Mars will conjoin Uranus. That's quite exciting, so be careful around any fireworks because Uranus rules that sudden unexpected change, so just be a little bit careful during the 4th of July with that Mars energy within Uranus. You might have some unexpected social networks appearing. 11th house does rule networks, online as well. There could be some disruptions. You might have to pivot and avoid impulses. Just be a little centered with that. New moon. Let me finish this first. Mars conjoin Uranus in the 11th house we talked about. And then towards the end of the month, you have the full moon, which is in Aquarius, and the sun conjoin Jupiter. This is really a beautiful time for dramatic culmination, again with the 8th house and shared resources. You're going to feel very optimistic and project sort of this real cosmic sort of grace and connection. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoy this channel, please hit the like or subscribe button. Astro Angel with love and light.